my lovelies, it's your girl Naila, and today we are going to be making a sensational build. I'm really excited because this is my first ever build that I've streamed. I've been playing Sims for the past 4 to 5 years, and I've always thought about streaming, building on YouTube, or making videos like this. But I was just like, I'm not the best builder and all the things. And I feel like in this new era of 2025, I really want to stop being in my head and really do what I love. And I honestly just really enjoy Sims 4 building and gameplay. I love decorating and all the things. So today I'm making a simple cottage for a Spellcaster family, a married couple and their teenage son. And what I'm envisioning for this particular build is something small, cozy, a little old, it's just a really old, falling apart, things are dirty, cobwebs. I even put a creepy crawlers lot challenge on this one because I really wanted there to be bugs, and I also made the lot spooky because I wanted it to attract ghosts. The family's all spellcasters, so I really wanted to create a lot where they would really flourish. I was gonna make this a haunted house residential, but I'm planning on uploading it to the gallery, and not everybody has all the packs, all the stuff, all the kits, all the game packs, which is totally okay. The spellcasters come from the Realm of Magic game pack for The Sims 4, and I particularly love playing with the spellcasters the most. I find that playing with spellcasters in Sims 4 is just so much easier, especially in families. And I do a lot of family gameplay, but potions, fulfilling needs and earning more satisfaction points. It's just so much easier to just do whatever I want when I'm playing with the spellcaster. Plus they have so many options for practical magic and things like that. And I feel things like Scrubberoo, where you can click a puddle and it'll go away instantly, or Gran Delicioso, where there's just a grand meal and you don't have to wait for your Sims to cook. So for someone who's been playing with The Sims 4 for a really long time, it's living sim life on cheat mode, without having to use any cheats, because you could just click of a button. I find that if you're looking for a challenge in The Sims 4, the worst Sims to play with are vampires, and I feel a lot of people love playing with vampires, but I really don't. Vampires and werewolves are so hard, because vampires, they can't go outside for most of the day. They can only go outside for maybe 6 hours out of the sim day, so really 6 minutes. So you're doing everything on your lot, unless you earn the trait, or give your vampire the trait of being able to withstand sunlight, but you have to work all the way up there unless you cheat it, so it's can get kind of annoying. But yeah, like I said, I really wanted this lot to look really old. Also, another thing, I'm sorry that I'm complaining, but werewolves, I just cannot stand them at all. I've played with a werewolf family and it was great as long as you stay within moonlight, or moon, I want to say moon mill, I'm not sure, but whatever that the werewolf lot or world is, as long as you stay there with your werewolf, it's good. But as soon as you start playing with any other households and werewolves are employed at the restaurant, or they're a random NPC and they're in beast form, it just makes all my Sims go crazy, and it's just so annoying. But there is a way to limit it only to their world. It's just some of them are some of the werewolves are friends with my Sims, and they just come around, it is what it is. So guys, as you can see here, the shell is built and you can download the shell on my gallery. And it's totally unfurnished. It's like whatever you want to do with it. Shell only. You could set up the floor plan however you want it to be. Because I know like some people are not builders, they're decorators, and that is so cool. Like I honestly, the shell part of any build I don't like. Like roofing is like my ultimate weakness. I cannot roof round rooms to save my life. So please don't worry if you're like not the best builder. Any build that I make, I will post the shell of it just so you can just have fun and decorate, because I know that's like a ton of fun. So guys, that red door on the side, I was really thinking like if this is a sim that like makes potions and like does crystals and sells jewelry with all like this power or like these mystical powers that people like maybe have to like get undercover, like if they want a potion that makes someone fall in love with them, then they go to this person's house to get the potion from them, but like they don't enter through the front door where the residents are, right? They enter through the side door, kind of like through the window. There's like a little exchange. That's what I imagine. This little small house over here, we're gonna turn into a jewelry shop. So I was thinking the couple that lives here are both gemologists, I want to say. Like I think I'm saying it right, but they're both gemologists, and they make different jewelry for that attain like different powers, like better at schoolwork and all the things. And I'm also doing this without build buy, so I just want to let you guys know you don't need like there's no build buy in this one. It's just like straight regular things. I do have a few CC in here, but not too much, because I mainly used Paranormal, Crystal Creations, and Realm of Magic packs. But this lot is like still customizable and it's achievable with no CC. Like for sure, it's not necessary. I just have some in there. Anyways, that small house on the side, we're turning into a jewelry shop. So there is an option in Realm of Magic where you have a table, like a jewelry table, that you can stock and then have a yard sale. So I was thinking that the sim has a workshop in that small house, and then also like sells the jewelry during yard sales from that space. So when like NPCs spawn onto the lot, or like sims spawn onto the lot and want to go to the yard sale, then they, instead of going in the home, they would go inside of the shop. Because I really hate when I do a yard sale, because there's a couple packs that do yard sales. There's Eco Styler pack that does yard sales where you can sell like candles, or like the bubbly drinks. And then there is Realm of Magic, Crystal Creations, and then there is Home Chef, where you can sell like food from a food stall. So there's a couple different ways to have yard sales at your home. So I'm planning on my sim selling potions and jewelry. I have another sim actually in my world. She lives in Glimmerbrook. She's an archaeologist, and she achieved the aspiration. She's also like awarded by the Sims 4 game the most interesting sim, because she has fulfilled maybe about 10 aspirations, I want to say. So she has like a lot of characteristics, but in addition to that, she has a retail shop in Glimmerbrook, which is a museum. And let me know if you guys want to see that. It's on my gallery for download. But she has a museum, and in the museum, I set it up as a retail lot, and that comes with the Get to Work expansion pack, where all of the things that she's collected and uncovered and authenticated in what is that world called? It's like, it sounds like El Salvador, but it's not. It's like Salvadora. but it comes with the Jungle Adventure game pack. But she sells everything that she discovers there in the museum for retail, and then I just mark up the price like times 100, because like, hello, they're artifacts, like my Sims should be getting paid good money. So you guys, the outside is pretty much done of our build. I'm just going in with some windows, and I'm gonna start decorating real soon. There's a trick with landscaping, guys. When you do your landscaping for your build, before you put the foundation on your landscape, before you put the foundation on your build, like put all of your landscaping down first, and then like raise your build for the foundation. Another really cool trick is the paint tool, guys. The paint tool really officiates everything, bro. It makes everything look a little bit more realistic. It's like, I always put a plot of dirt around all of my builds, so it doesn't look like the build was just like plopped down or like taken off of a truck and just put down. So you're gonna see me paint right here. I wanted it to look like it was a little wet, like they had often been drying things on here, and like the grass around it is a little bit more dead. And then wherever there's dirt, it means like it's just been there for a really long time, and it's just been sitting in that. The Realm of Magic world is Glimmerbrook, and it's just like a really like a foresty. It's right next to a river, and so I wanted the landscape to look like very grassy and overgrown. So that's why I did the landscaping that I did. I also wanted it to look like the Sims just really don't keep up the yard, or they just like let everything like roam free. They're just growing like a bunch of stuff, and they're not really taking care of it. I wanted these two to just like kind of not really tend to the house. It's just old, it needs a lot of work, but like they're spellcasters, right? Like they can just fix things. Nothing like really bothers them. They just do what they need to do. Both of the Sims, or actually all the Sims, have the gardening skill and like gardening. So I wanted to place a lot of outdoor things. The teenager also loves outdoors. So I wanted to make sure there was things like flower arranging, handiness, and gardening utensils outside, so that Sims had some activities out there. And I wanted to go kind of old school for this build, so I did end up putting a washer and dryer in here, but I wanted there to be an option during summer and springtime for my Sims to do their laundry outside. And like I said, I wanted to give off a little bit of a cute, creepy vibe. So I'm just gonna place like a gravestone right here to kind of give that like it's still a spellcaster's home. It's not just like a random cottage. So we're gonna start working on the jewelry shop, and the vibe I really wanted to get in here is like it is a workshop, but it's just they're selling out of the workshop as well. So at first I was like, I feel like this is a little tight because the yard sale table, guys, is just so freaking fat. It takes up 9 square feet, and I mean, I get it because it's like other Sims have to like kind of purchase from it, but I'm like, it's so inconvenient. It takes up more space it takes up just as much space as a bar does, which is kind of annoying. But I really wanted Sims to come in here, see jewelry, kind of displayed all around it. I wanted to give kind of like an old castle-ish vibe. Like there may have been some potions that were brewed up in here at one point. And I still wanted to give old. I just wanted everything to be a little medieval, which is why I stayed away from doing like electric in this build. I really wanted to stick with doing off the grid appliances like candles for light. These lights right here from Realm of Magic, and when they turn on, you probably peeped it a little bit in the beginning during the cutscenes, but fire comes out of them, and I think that's like super cool to include in a build like this. I really wanted it to give the vibe that this was just not a place that normal Sims would come to. They're coming to Glimmerbrook on a mission to get potions, to get crystals, to get help, and things that they can't do. Now, don't get me wrong, you guys. I don't believe there's any real power to this at all outside of this game. I am 100% in love with Jesus, and he is the only source and only power ever. But for the game, I thought it was just like super fun to play with. Like I said, spellcasters are like one of my favorites because it's just so much easier to play with them, and there's just so much to do in the paranormal pack. And like, you can get your paranormal license. As you can see, those little things on the ground are like the occult symbols to increase or decrease the serenity of your house, so you can make it more haunted or less haunted, and that comes with the paranormal pack. So in order to have that haunted house, you have to have the pack, unfortunately. And I hate that EA does that. There's so many game packs and stuff packs and kits and expansion packs. Literally, they're coming out on March 6th with a I think hobbies, business and hobbies expansion pack, and we just came out with the life and death pack just before that. And then right before that, there was another pack, a horse ranch, and then there was growing together. There were just so many packs, like back to back to back to back to back. And normally I would wait until like Christmas, New Year's. I'm like, okay, that's when I get a new pack or whatever, like my birthday or whatever, because they would only come out maybe a few times a year and they'd only go on sale a few times a year. But now they're coming out like clockwork, and I'm just like, well, what is this? So guys, we're on the interior now, the best part. And I was thinking, like, if you're doing an old cottage style home, right, there's always like these long hallways, and I wanted it to give like old medieval slash, I got really excited there, you guys. If you were watching the Twitch live, like, you would have understood why I was so excited to find this particular wallpaper. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. I really wanted this build. All my builds are this way, but I like my builds super colorful. Like, I love playing on color. I try to stay away from like blacks, browns, and whites. I like things with patterns, with little unique knobs, with knickknacks attached to them. And I thought this mirror was so perfect because they are gemologists, and this has gems on it, which is so ironic because it came with the werewolf pack. So that was funny. But I imagine this family, like, they're well traveled, right? They've probably been alive for a long time. So I was thinking they have artifacts and different like bits and bobs from just like all over, that they're a little out of date. Like I said, I wanted the build to scream off the grid, so I really wanted to stay away from a lot of modernization, like TVs, or even like computers. I did do something in the hallway earlier that is electronic. You guys will see it, but it's still old. And yeah, like, I really wanted it to be an old ugly house and get creepy, but it still have like this homey, welcoming vibe to it, this warm vibe, that the Sims that live here are not scary. They live in a scary home, but they're not scary. They're just a lot of fun, and they're unique. They're a little weird and quirky, but that's just like who they are. They just are like really cool individuals who just help out kind of underneath the table. A lot of people who shame them, but they're just isolated. They're to themselves, in the middle of Glimmerbrook in the forest, just kind of vibing out in their stuff. I also was thinking, like, spellcasters probably aren't neat, right? Like, now I don't know that for sure. Like, I don't have any experience. Actually, I did live with a witch in in college. She was my roommate. She was actually really nice. I don't approve of the lifestyle, but she was cool people. I'm not gonna get into her name and stuff, but she was cool people. Like I said, don't approve of the lifestyle, but like she was cool. Probably one of the best roommates I've ever had. She was super nice to me. Yeah, like we never had any problems actually. So quite ironically, and so yeah, like I definitely wanted this to be that homey look, that old look. I also wanted it to be kind of dark, not a lot of light. You guys saw from those cutscenes earlier how we end up lighting a lot of things, but I really wanted to use colors, but I wanted them to be monochromatic, wanted them to be a little darker, like a lot of purples, blues, dark greens, not necessarily earth tones, which is what I normally use for my builds. For my regular builds, I use like a lot of like earthy tones like green, gold, yellow, oranges. But this time I'm deciding to use more of the monocolor, the darker colors of the spectrum, which is not my typical go-to, but I find that when I feel like this house gives me like thunderstorm, rain, like, you know, just they're doing like shady stuff in here and they're giving it to people who are being shady. So I wanted it to be a little bit like, you know, mysterious. Like people come in and it's like, oh my gosh, I can tell that I'm not in a place that I would normally find myself in, but still like be inviting just to people that they know, you know? Still a little spooky, but people live there. So we're working on the bathroom, guys. I really was proud of this shower, okay? Like I was really proud of this shower. I normally just stick a shower in the bathroom and call it a day, but I was like, you know what? I'm streaming. I'm going to show off a little bit, show my skills, show what I do. I had a hard time picking the color. And then as soon as I picked the wallpaper, I said, this is really not giving me bathroom. This is giving me more utility laundry room. Like we had a basement, and down in the basement when I was a kid, there was the laundry room, and it always scared me because it had these crickets in by the water heaters, and that's exactly what this is the exact wallpaper that was in that laundry room when I was a kid. So I was like, as soon as I put it down, I said, okay, this needs to be a laundry room. And I think it makes sense that the bathroom is in the laundry room because this is a home that is supposed to be kind of like old and spooky. This is actually the only bathroom in this house, and I was a little afraid to do that. I was like, should I turn the second bedroom into a bathroom and just not have a teenager, just like 2 Sims and that's it? But I really wanted them to have a teenager. I really wanted a second bedroom, and I was like, okay, then I'm gonna have to settle with doing one bathroom. So that's what we're doing here. And guys, it works. I feel like a lot of us assume that we need a bunch of bathrooms in our builds, but it's like if you're only playing with 1, 2, 3 Sims, you don't need a bunch of bathrooms. And these are not Sims who are having like a lot of social events or a lot of guests. This is like yard sales, handing over potions and calling it a day. Like no one is sleeping over the house or anything like that. Like this is definitely a private property. So guys, every time I go and find little bits and bobs, I find more bits and bobs that belong in other places. And I feel like I've been doing this for I don't know how long, but I feel like I'm not even familiar with all of the stuff that I have in my build catalog, like between CC and whatever. And guys, this is still not CC. Like this wallpaper comes with Cottage Living. Like these windows come with Cottage Living. This carpet came from Werewolves. We're using a lot of just stuff that we're using a lot of non-CC objects here. That dresser that we put in the hallway, oh my gosh, is one of my favorite dressers. It's in almost all of my builds because I love all the colors swatches that it comes in. But that's from the paranormal pack. And so I think what I end up doing, or why I have so many packs and game packs and expansion packs, is because number one, shout out to my sister. She always buys me one for my birthday or for Christmas or anytime she asks me what do I want. I'm always like, can I get another Sims 4 pack or expansion or whatever? And she said, Naila, you need to start streaming someday. And so Manaya, this is definitely for you. It's actually her birthday today. I really miss her. Probably not her birthday when I post this, but it's February 19th and that's my sister's birthday. So shout out to my sister. We used to play Barbies a lot when we were a kid, and I feel like Sims is literally that. It's almost like I feel a little bit more connected to her when I play because of just playing with her as a kid, and all that. And at one point we did play Sims. We never owned Sims when I was a kid, but we used to go to my god sister's house and she would play Sims and we would just watch her play Sims 2 and be like wanting to play, but she wouldn't let us play. And now I understand why. It's like so addicting. So you guys, I didn't even mean for this nook to be here for the fireplace, but it just worked out, guys. I was like kind of so happy about it. I was like, what the frick? No way that fits in there perfectly. And I even I play tested this entire lot. It worked. It's functional. It's awesome. They can get in the bed, they can sleep, they can shower, they can use the bathroom, they can cook. And you guys, when you'll see as I'm building this little small room behind this teal door, I was like, what the heck am I gonna do with that? And I was thinking about making that a bathroom, but it wasn't big enough to fit a toilet and a sink. And based off of the way that I set up the kitchen, I was not able to afford placing a sink in this build. I'm sorry, in the kitchen. So I was like, okay, we can put the sink inside of this small room, and it's almost like a utility room, almost like, you know, where they put like your water heater and stuff like that. So if you ever wanted to change this to maybe a residential building, you can take out the sink and you can replace it with the water heater, and have your landlord, if you're playing that way, like come and do that. So yeah, we're starting on the kitchen. There wasn't a ton of space because it was in a round room. Guys, I've never built this small of a round room, and I've never made the round room a kitchen. I don't feel like I really utilize round rooms like that, but I really wanted that tower because I felt like it was medieval. I felt like it was castle. I felt like it was giving, it was giving cottage a little bit. Maybe not, I don't know. But I really wanted it. I love the look of it. And guys, I don't know. It works for me. It's functional. I just wish I would have made it a little bit bigger, but this is a 40 by 30 lot, so it's not a ton of space, but this was the best. I actually, now that I think about it, I'm looking at it, I kind of like when the kitchens are kind of cozy because it gives me a home vibe, and that was the goal, to make it a home. So I'm cool with it. Like I said, we stick the sink here in this small room because there is no sink inside of the kitchen, so they can, Sims do this stupid thing where they never use a dishwasher. They have to wash their dishes in the sink, which more power to you, but I hate that. Now this is the room I was most excited to do because this is where the exchanges are happening. This is where we're brewing up the potions. I really wanted it to look old and dirty and almost like a basement, so I put down the platform a bit. I really wasn't feeling the stairs in this corner, so I just built like another triangle platform to give it kind of like that stepping stone, so that when Sims like walked in, they could just walk onto the platform and then like walk one more down. And yeah, it just looked way better to me. I'm a maximalist. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Maybe you think I'm a minimalist. I don't like when there's so much decor in my Sims 4 build that things aren't functional anymore. Like, that's annoying. So I'm not one of those. But guys, I'm a maximalist. Any place where I can put stuff, I put stuff. And I find that I craft a lot of items in The Sims 4, like candles, like potions, like jewelry, like all of the things. And so I do a lot of display objects because I want to fill up the display objects with a bunch of stuff that like my Sims 4 my Sims have made. They're always making something. And so some things may look a little bit more empty, but that's because I'm like, I want them to cross stitch, or I want them to craft sculptures, or I want them to make potions. I want them to fill up the space as I do my gameplay, because when all of the space is just filled up and like things are just sitting in my inventory, it's a little bit like it kind of misses its purpose a bit. So like this cabinet right here, I'm gonna fill it with potions. The shelf over there, I'm gonna fill up. The fireplace, I'm gonna fill up with stuff as my Sims make things. I just really want them to just fill up the area. Even like some of the wall space is blank because I plan on the teenager being an artist. I really want him to make a lot of artwork, and we fill up the home with a bunch of that. So it just makes a lot more personal, and it makes it feel more like the Sims space, instead of like I just decorated everything like and then put it on the lot, like I just opened it out of a box. I'm just adding the spider webs because I did tell you guys the creepy crawlers. Also, the holes in the wall, I will stick the holes in the wall behind like paintings and stuff, and maybe have it peeking out a little bit so it looks like my Sim tried to cover it, but they're just doing a really awful job because we can still see it. So like you can see behind the bookshelf over there that it was like trying to be covered, but it just wasn't done well. And then that's the same thing with like the pile, like the puddles. I will put down like nasty puddles on the ground, like underneath the gauntlet is a really nasty puddle, and that is from the Stranger, I want to say Stranger Things, but it's not called Stranger Things, but it's like, it's what is that dang game pack called? But it's like Strangeville. It's like the chemistry lab chemicals. It's like a chemistry lab spill, and I will put that in any build that I am trying to make remotely dirty. It just dirties it up. Because I find that builds sometimes look a little too clean. Like I like more ugly, broken, nasty looking builds because I prefer Sims. I prefer more realism. Not too much realism. Okay, so like this rug is CC, but like you can tell. But you can, yeah, like I like when things look a little bit more worn, like more worn down, like the Sim has just been there for a minute and she just can't get things out, or he just can't get things out. This is the teenager's room. I really wanted him to be musical and artist, like everything artist. I did end up putting one electronic item that Sims can kind of play on, and that was a typewriter. So not really technical, but kind of, yes. And I imagine like with them having a business, they're doing like a ton of work. So I put like a bunch of businessy things around, files, a gemologist microscope, just like a lot of stuff to indicate that they're business owners. Here I am with that spill again, just like making things look like a little bit more worn, and just making his room a little messy. And I'm thinking the teenager's messy, their parents are messy, so it just makes sense that he's messy too. And the entire area is cluttered. I imagine them to be hoarders, like they just keep everything, like anything and everything they were ever given, they keep. So their kid made the snowflakes when he was 5. The snowflakes are gonna stay on the wall. Guys, you wanna know what's crazy? Right after I put that on the wall, you can't even tell that there was a cut, really. But my game, like, exited out to the main menu. I was so distraught because I thought I was gonna lose my bill. Not main menu, like to the world view. And then it didn't. I was so scared for a second. I was literally about to just give up and just like go to sleep, but everything was all good. Thank the Lord. Yeah, we're putting some final touches on the right side of the house. At this point, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like, should I check out? I was on Twitch for 5 hours, like about 5 hours and 30 minutes, like making this build. And I had some of my high schoolers on there. Like I'm a high school minister, so I had some of my high schoolers on there, and they were like, yo, are you gonna like come off of this and play Fortnite with us? And I was like, dude, I don't know. So I'm working on the family room now, and I really was like, I imagine this family like does a lot of reading, because I didn't want to put a TV in here because I find that like Sims, like they watch TV so much, or they get on the computer so much, guys. Like, I do not like that. And I felt like if there was a lot more recreational things that for them to do together, they would talk to each other more. Because I will find that I will just play with one sim and the other 2 sims will just like go do their thing, and their social meters will be down so low, but they live with like 2 other people. Yeah, I just don't get it. So I just sized down the bookshelves because, y'all, why are the bookshelves so big? If you're gonna make things that big, then I would say like make them in multiple sizes. Anyways, I love this couch, guys. It's from the Paranormal Pack, guys. Everything that came with the Paranormal Pack, these chairs are from Realm of Magic, but everything that came with the Paranormal Pack, oh my gosh, it was my style, guys. I loved all of the gear in that build. Oh my gosh, or in that pack. So I'm just lighting things up in here, you guys. Like I said, I wanted it to be dark, so it's not going to be this bright. Any time I build, I put in a bunch of those bright lights, which I freaking hate those bright lights. If you make your build with those bright lights, I am mad. Just know that if I download your build, I take all those bright lights out and I just replace them with all lights. You know how people are not big light people? I am not a big light person. I am a nice little small light person. I love like the warm lights. I do not like the cool lights. I'm sorry to say, if you are a big light person at all, there is no shade to you. I feel like live your best life, but that is just not me. So yeah, I didn't realize how much space the seance table was gonna, or whatever it's called. I didn't realize how much table space that was gonna take. So I'm kind of glad I made the room a little bigger. So last but not least, this is the master bedroom, guys. Like I said, I imagine the family to be well traveled. They are slobs, hoarders, and I think that comes with thrifters. I'm not saying thrifters are slobs. I'm a thrifter. I'm also not saying because you're a thrifter, you're not a slob. Anyways, I feel as though they just see something and they're like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then they take it home. It's not really a matter of fact if it matches things or not. It's just like, oh, I like this particular piece, or even this piece has sentimental value to me, so I'm just not going to get rid of it. I know that we've renovated and changed up the way the entire house looks. But yeah, we're not gonna get rid of anything. We're just gonna move it around or stuff it or find another use for it. Like I said, well traveled, so they've got suitcases everywhere. Things don't really match. I was thinking like lots of plants, lots of greenery everywhere. There's shrubs everywhere. There's just stuff. And things, they clash so much that it works. And I'm carrying this blue in here because y'all, I made the fireplace blue and I was stunned. It's so beautiful. I like want one. Like I want one in real life. So the art in here is inspired by, I'm assuming this family like has gone places and they've gone to different religious spaces or like spiritual spaces, and they bring back literally everything that they've learned, and so there's so many different values and cultures in their space because they just get on with everybody. They just get to know so many different spaces from being well traveled. So I'm just assuming that and you guys, this is like one of my favorite wallpapers. I normally use it for kids, but I felt like in this build it really worked. So we're gonna light this baby up so we can do those cutscenes for you guys. I did end up adding some things which are not shown here, which is including a Ravenwood tent, like a tarot tent, or tarot reading tent in front of the house, as well as like little pieces of decor here and there, but like nothing that has changed the build significantly, like a flower here and there or whatever. But you guys can download this build from the gallery, and I really hope you enjoy just building with me and hearing me chat with you guys and yap on here. Like I said, see you next time.